Greetings and salutations, my name is JW608. Today I am playing Starmade. We are in dev build, pre-build even, version 0.201.083, and I am here in my super duper weapons testing platform. It has weapons with 900 and 1062 modules, huge reactor, and full of thrusters. Nothing really to write home about. But I did want to use this because it's going to be easier to see the results of strikes and all that than my tiny weapons testing platform. So let's snag us a target and hit the dip block. Cannons. Cannons are now mainly a high penetration weapon. They've always have been. Capable of punching through the thin armor and leaving a lot of damage in its wake. Like before, each projectile has a penetration depth based on its damage. It can range from 1 to more than 200 blocks. Each block in this penetration line acts as a starting point for acid damage to start from. The damage of the entire projectile is then distributed accordingly to end up with the approximate damage shape. General change in cannons is all the projectiles are now considerably faster, which makes battles at higher speeds a lot easier. That was one of my complaints earlier, that the projectiles are so stinking slow. By the time I shot, the target was 500 meters to the right. Let's see, overpenetration. Using cannons with too much damage can cause the projectiles to overpenetrate. So you notice I punched a nice hole in that divot, not really a hole, and I'm in this solid block of armor. That has armor plates in it. So let's see what happens when I shoot this. Say there. See, here it hit and spread. Here it hit and went clean through with no acid damage. That's because I'm guessing, I'm assuming, that's because of the overpenetration. That shot was more powerful than a single layer of armor, so it just punched a nice clean hole through. Whereas this armor, being thicker, was able to absorb more, and I'm going to be on the sunny side, and took acid damage. Again, like I said before, it was like a shotgun slug hitting a piece of paper versus a brick wall. The paper, it's going to go through the more paper and probably stop on the brick wall. See? In fact, now it did that because it got hit at an angle. In fact, I wonder if punch through can punch. Did that go clean through? It did. It went clean through and into this one. But each time it hit, it took out a little bit of the cannon's power. Okay. Projectile width and bullet customization. Putting down blocks next to your weapon's output increase the projectile width. What's the output on this one? Okay, we're going to set the middle to the... Actually, we're going to set U as the output. Alright. So let's add more blocks to this and see if this actually does change its width. That does not appear to have. But by making the shot wider, I'm going to change output to that one there. And that shot off to the side for some reason. Also, Let's try not hitting it with something over penetrating. And pick one in the middle there. That does not appear to be much wider. That does not appear to be any wider at all. So I wonder what stage a wider output is actually going to be helping, or if I'm just doing it wrong. Putting down blocks next to your weapon's output, you can increase the projectile width. On impact, this will cause more damage to be redirected toward the front, basically shrinking your damage pattern and increasing its width. So it won't have penetration, but it'll have more acid damage, I'm guessing, on its first shot. This can be used to counter over-penetration or to destroy more superficial blocks if needed. So if I'm just trying to skin a ship, or rip the armor off of it, or the hull, or whatever, use the wider shot, except I apparently don't understand it enough to... Oh wow, that did more, but that's because it was at an oblique angle. Okay. Hitting it dead on looks like it just goes deeper, while hitting it askew... Well, of course it makes sense. Hitting it askew skins more of it. Alright. So apparently I don't understand how that works, so we're going to rip all this nonsense off. And undo that where I took out those system computers, because I kind of want those. Alright. Recoil and impact force, where I looked at that. Cannon combinations. Just straight cannon is the one I deleted and brought back. Just straight cannon. It's a lower fire, high penetration, all around decent gun. Cannon. Cannon is a fast-firing machine gun with fast projectiles. It uses the cone wide to narrow damage shape. Okay. Let's wire up us a cannon. Cannon. Okay, and that's a cannon, just rapid fire. And it says it uses a different damage cone, wide to narrow, so it looks like I'll probably take a chunk out, then decrease as it penetrates into the armor. So the first shot probably have more acid damage than the next, and so on and so forth. Okay. Cannon missile. Cannon missile. Charge cannon with left click to charge or release to fire. The longer discharge, the better the efficiency and damage of that shot. It also uses the cone wide to narrow damage shape. Oh. And I just right clicked to zoom, which I keep forgetting you can do that. And we're going to charge it from maximum. And I'm assuming the size of the system determines what maximum is. Whoa! Okay. That flung me backwards 80 meters per second. And slow down, slow down. And it also imparted quite a bit of force to my friend there. And while it doesn't look like he's moving very fast, he is spinning pretty good. I'm actually getting hit by that in battle, and then losing control. You guys says you always hit V. A less powerful shot, I didn't charge all the way, still seems to impart the same amount of recoil on me, and it looks like that did more acid damage than it did penetration damage. Huh. And now it's having a hard time rendering that thing spinning so fast at that distance. So let's grab something that's squishier. And an actual ship. Let's grab a ironclad. I know this is an old ship using the old shields and old power and old weapons and just old. It was old when I built it. I still want to see what happens. You know what? I wonder if I'm moving at 80 meters per second. Then I fire if the recoil will just stop me. That's something to test in the future. Alright, this is 900 modules of cannon missile. I'm holding down shift and releasing. It took all its shields out and left an enormous hole in the side of the ship. And it is spinning pretty good. I'm moving at a fair clip. I was having a problem with this particular weapon. If you've been watching my videos, you saw it would fling me backwards at 10,000 meters a second. I was informed by the devs that was not supposed to happen. And that speed of 100,000 meters per second backwards was not intended gameplay. Wow. This thing packs a punch, but it is going to be horribly inconvenient to use. Yeah. And I just clipped into it. Clip into it, dummy. Well, it spun into me. That is a nasty gash, and also flung it backwards pretty good. Flung me backwards pretty good. It disrupted its auxiliary power and its jump drives. Ripped apart its power reactor, so yeah. All its power lines. Okay. Cannon Beam. Cannon Beam is a slow-firing artillery cannon with a narrow to wide cone-shaped damage. So it's going to penetrate, then expand. It'll be relatively efficient, but is hard to hit. So let's Cannon Beam. Let's zoom in, because as I understand, this would be like a sniper shot. It's going to be hard to hit. Oh, that hurt. Actually, no, let's let the ironclad go. And you know, I should be testing this on a station. Stations don't tend to recoil. Alright. Let's see how much recoil. Well, let's actually hit its center of mass, see if we can get it to not spin. And bombs away. And that's pretty good. Hey, hitting it dead center it causes it not to spin. Who would have thought? You know, like physics and stuff. Let's see. So it should have started out as a narrow shot and expanded. Looks like it just tore an equal hole through it. Clean through, well, not clean through it, there's jagged edges, but it tore clean through. Okay. It's hard to hit, I'm guessing, because it's a slower projectile. Let's see. We've also changed damage to power consume ratio to be different for each combination. Allows us to balance the highest risk weapons to the reliable damage dealing ones. A slow firing cannon is always more efficient, as a miss or a bad hit is a huge waste of time and power. So if I'm tracking this with a little fighter, and I fire and it just totally misses, it's a big hit because I have to wait forever for recoil and spend all that energy consumption and whatnot. If I fire with rapid fire, I just keep going and it doesn't bother it much. And I think I set it to volley mode. Anyway, each combination also has a different sniper zoom mode, where right-click ranges from 2 to 4 times and greatly enhances accuracy on long-range targets. Cool. Alright, I like the way the new weapons are going. And I think the charge shot, I think it's my favorite, even though I'm going to need a more massive ship so it doesn't fling me backwards so hard. Anyway, I think I like the new cannons. If you leave your opinion down in the comments, whether you like the look of them, whether you've played with them much. That didn't do anything. Huh. I'll still be calculating damage somewhere. Anywho, I have been JW608. This has been Starmade. I'll see you next time.